morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan. Let's begin with the top stories this hour. Provincial governments failed to perform to expectation despite the passing away of 7 months since their formation. The high-level committee formed to probe into the infamous Nirmala Pant rape and murder case of Kantipur submits its report to the Home Minister. Details yet to be made public. US President Donald Trump addresses UN General Assembly, charges Iran of creating unrest and chaos in the Middle East. And India Let's begin with the latest national political updates. The provincial governments have not been able to perform to expectation despite the lapse of 7 months since their formation. Provincial officials have blamed the centre's inability in staff management and disputes in allocating authority as the reason for their failure. On top of all this, the Province Coordination Council formed under the leadership of the Prime Minister that is responsible in addressing the grievances and solve the authority disputes has not been able to set a meeting as of yet. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli had cancelled the meeting of the Province Coordination Council at the last hour after Chief Ministers of the provinces jointly expressed their grievances over the centre's lack of support. Officials of the provincial government have said the failure to hold the council's meeting to clarify on the rights of the provincial government along with other disputes has left them jobless. The chief ministers have demanded that the centre should bring the chief district officers under the jurisdiction of the provincial government and facilitate the provincial government in staff and resource management. The Inter-Province Coordination Council was formed to address the issues between the centre and the provinces. However, the council's inactive state so far has left the provincial officials jobless and they are instead spending time attending various events and inaugurations. And moving on, the high-level committee formed by the Home Ministry to probe the infamous Nirmala Pant rape and murder case of Kantipur submitted its report yesterday. Coordinator of the high-level committee, Joint Secretary Hari Prasad Mainali, handed the report to Home Minister Ram Bahadur Thapa yesterday. The details of the report have not been made public yet. After different levels of police investigations were found controversial, a probe committee was formed under the leadership of the Joint Secretary at the Home Ministry, which included representatives from all the 3 security institutions. The committee formed after the incident had submitted its preliminary report to the Home Ministry on 15th of September, which led to the suspension of 5 police officials, including the then police chief of Kantipur. The main opposition, Nepali Congress, has been conducting interactions with cadres and well-wishers across the country to gather suggestions on furnishing new party statute. However, party cadres have been attempting to garner the leadership's attention towards solving the growing factionalism within the party. Majority of the cadres present at the function, which was held to suggest the committee formed to formulate the legislative draft, focused more on the dividing leadership and factionalism. Party cadres also warned that if the leaders did not stop competing with each other over power, it could put party's existence in crisis. Nepali Congress cadres believe that their party has weakened in recent times due to senior leaders focusing more on forming factions based on favoritism instead of merit or capacity. Despite having the same ideologies, Party President Sher Bahadur Deuba, Senior Leader Ramchandra Paudel, Vice President Bimlendra Nidhi, General Secretary Sasanka Koirala, former General Secretary Prakash Man Singh and Krishna Prasad Sitaula have all been leading a faction of their own. All these top leaders have been focused on power. Party cadres have urged the party to implement the party statute, end factionalism and divide responsibilities based on one's ability and contributions. It is not unusual for leaders to have different ideologies, especially in a democratic party. However, it is viewed high time that the leaders avoid favoritism and factionalism. Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Committee of Province 7, formed to recommend the province name and capital, has submitted its report at the Provincial Assembly. Based on the report, the committee has proposed Sudur Paschim for the province's name. Likewise, the committee has suggested to establish the province's capital at the Thiagari forest area in Godavari municipality of Kailali. The committee has clarified that the unity of the province, culture, development and prosperity have all been put into consideration to come up with the recommendations. While lawmakers from all the parties welcomed the name of the province, the lawmakers of the main opposition, Nepali Congress and Rashtriya Janata Party, expressed discontentment on the capital. The Provincial Assembly Secretariat has said another meeting will be held today afternoon at 1 for further discussions. And we'll take a short break here. We have more news coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In most community schools in the country, the number of students is declining. A few days ago, a government working group submitted a report to the Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli stating that in 32% of the schools, the student-teacher ratio is hardly 20 students per teacher. However, in a community school in Bara district, 170 students were found studying in the same classroom, and the teacher had to use a microphone and a sound system in order to teach. In the 9th grade science class being held at the Durga Namuna Higher Secondary School in Bara, students cannot hear the teacher if a sound system isn't used. At this school, there are only 9 teachers who teach grade 9 to 12 and there are about 700 students. There is adequate space to add classrooms and other necessary infrastructures, but due to the lack of teachers, students are compelled to study in the same classroom. Such a situation in a school in Bara has raised questions on the quality of education in community schools. Welcome back. After the monsoon rain damaged the roads to Sankhwasabha, the prices for daily consumable goods has skyrocketed due to shortage. Traveling through the Basantapur-Chainpur road has not been easy. The supply has also been affected due to fuel shortage, and in this context, we had asked the residents of Sankhwasabha what problems have they been facing due to the increase in price of daily consumable goods. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public voice.
कहाँ कुन गतिमा मूल्य वृद्धि भएको छ अनि त्यसले जनतालाई कति मार पारेको छ भनेर स्थानीय सरकारको तर्फबाट पनि त्यसको अनुगमन मूल्याङ्कन त्यसलाई न्यूनीकरण गर्ने कुरा उद्योग वाणिज्य संघको सहकार्यमा गर्नुपर्ने थियो।
बाटोको समस्या छ भन्छ, ढुवानी बढेर आएको छ, त्यसमा अनि अब 50 पर्नेलाई अब 80 पर्नेलाई 100 पर्नेलाई 150 हैन, त्यहाँ हरेक खाद्यान्न वस्तुहरू चामल तेल नुन मसलाहरुमा सबैमै बढेर आएको छ।
सबै पसलमा चाहिँ एउटै मूल्य छ कि छैन भनेर चाहिँ प्रत्येक पसलमा गएर चाहिँ अनुगमन गरेर मूल्य तोकिदियो भने सबै जनतालाई सजिलो हुन्छ।
समस्या चाहिँ बाटाको कारणले हो। एक दिनमा आइपुग्ने गाडी 3 दिन लाग्न थाल्यो।
हामी जस्तो सर्वसाधारण केही पनि नहुनेको लागि चाहिँ एकदमै गाह्रो भइरहेको छ।
हामीलाई बाटोले यस्तो गर्यो, पेट्रोल यसरी बढ्यो भन्नुहुन्छ, नै भाउ बढाउनुहुन्छ, भाउ बढाएको कारणले हामीलाई उपभोग गर्न दैनिक व्यवहार टार्नलाई हामीलाई गाह्रो समस्या भइरहेको हुन्छ।
हप्ता दिन कमाएकोले एक बोरा चामल आउँदैन, त्यही भएर एकदम गाह्रो भइरहेछ यहाँ संघसभामा।
अब चाडबाड आयो अनि सामान महँगोमा बेच्नु लुगा आयो, त्यस्तो चलन छ।
चाडबाड आएको छ, नखाइ पनि भएको छैन। बिहान बेलुका हामीले त्यो अनिवार्य हामीले किन्नु पर्ने छ। जति भए 10 रुपैयाँमा पाउने चिज हामीले 50 रुपैयाँमा नि बाध्य भएर किन्नुपर्छ। यो चाहिँ यतिखेरै अनुगमन गरेर स्थानीय सरकार हामीसँग छ। हामीले उहाँहरूको अगुवाईमा हरेक निकायले यसलाई न्यूनीकरण गर्न अत्यन्तै आवश्यक छ।
And it's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where it texts us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, why is the provincial government confused? And your options are: option A, unclear jurisdiction, and option B, illiberal federal government. The voting for the question is on. Type any WS, select your option A or B and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And now time for sports update.
Sports news.
After the new working committee of All Nepal Football Association (NFA) was formed, the first decision made by the leadership was to announce the dates for A Division League matches. However, the league has been widely criticized recently following NFA's decision to omit relegations. Football clubs agreed to participate in the A Division League upon NFA's request to encourage football culture in the country. However, NFA's decision to participate in the Bangabandhu Gold Cup in Dhaka, Bangladesh, even after the schedule of the A Division League was announced, is certain to affect the league matches. This year's A Division League tournament is to be held after a gap of 5 years. The league tournament is slated to start from the 29th of September, while the Bangabandhu Gold Cup is to start from the 1st of October. ENFA's decision to participate in the international tournament has affected the football club's preparation for the A-Division League. Players from 5 clubs, including Manang Marsyangdi, 3-Star Club and Tribhuvan Army Club, among others, are in the national football team. As defending champions, ENFA had put on hold its participation at the Bangabandhu Gold Cup if it did not receive the $25,000 that it was entitled to as the tournament's champion. ENFA declared its participation after the organizers handed the prize money to ENFA. Football clubs have criticized ENFA's decision as its negligence towards the league. Clubs have accused ENFA of being greedy of the $25,000 more than defending its title. The inaugural match of the A-Division League is set between Tribhuvan Army Club and New Road Team NRT. Meanwhile, ENFA has defended its decision, saying their efforts are always for the development of the sport and that decisions like these are just a part of the football culture. It is unusual in any context across the world for a league to not have relegation. ENFA has changed the double round-robin format for the league into a single round, which many believe only shows that ENFA is only hosting the league for formality. And before we wrap up, here's a look at the top stories one more time. Provincial governments failed to perform to expectation despite the lapse of 7 months since their formation. The high-level committee formed to probe into the infamous Nirmala Pant rape and murder case of Kantipur submits its report to the Home Minister. Details yet to be made public. US President Donald Trump addresses UN General Assembly, charges Iran of creating unrest and chaos in the Middle East. And India and Afghanistan tie their Super 4 match. Mohammad Sajjad with the bat and Rashid Khan with the ball signed for Afghanistan. And those were our latest headlines. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Good day.